Michael Carrick era at Manchester United ends with a win as they take all 3 points as they beat Aston. But while they're chasing back, how did they get on this past week? We'll take a little look next. Right. Once again in a prediction video today, we're looking forward to match number 15 over in the Premier League, and we'll get to that in just 1 second. Where you've been, smash your subscribe and get your man today with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, woo! Football related. We got all here, boys. Under one Rooski. That's right. The Ralph Rangnick era officially starts today. Oh my goodness gracious me! And of course, takes over the reins from Michael Carrick, who comes at it unbeaten. Of course, we'll look at it, all of it in a minute. Of course, big shout out to my VIPs. They're the Patreons, and if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe. And you want stop shop to football right here at Blackburn OCs. But anyway, if you want to help us out, check the links down below: Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well. Check them badges out. So anyway, we're going to jump at the deep end, of course, and recap the games that did take place this past midweek. So here we go. Of course, kicking all off with Stevie G's Villa against Manchester City. 2-1 in the end for City. Of course, it had to be. You couldn't go unbeaten in this one, really. Couldn't avoid it. 2-1 win. And with a 3-1 win for City, so not too shabby there. Of course, Liverpool did smash past Everton. Maybe Rafa's in a bit of trouble here. 4-1 win in the end. Oh, the 3-0. Leeds got back to winning ways with a 1-1 win over Crystal Palace at long last. Chelsea did pick up a win over Watford 2-1 over 3-0. West Ham and Brighton took out to a 1-1 draw. Wolves also drew with Burnley 0-0. Them 6-5. Picked up a 0-0 draw there. Man United did beat Arsenal 3-2 with the 2-1 win myself. Of course, the Geordies still can't buy a win. Even with all that bloody billions and billions of billions, they cannot buy a win. 1-1 draw in the end. The Saints, 2-2 draw over Leicester City. Big win for them. Well, big point for them, really. And Spurs, 2-0 winners over Brentford. And that is a massive point for them in the locker as well. That's my picks, of course, and the results. How about the leaderboard? Of course, the Premier League looks like this. Of course, it's 1 point between Chelsea and Manchester City. We've got 1 point between City and Liverpool. And there's a massive gap between those three and the rest. Love it. I love this. This is, you know, we've got 2 different races on our hands. We've got the race for the title, Chelsea, Manchester City, and of course the 3 best teams in the land by a country mile. And then you've got the chase for that other 4th spot. West Ham sitting there right now. Arsenal are realistically in it. Spurs are realistically in it. Manchester United are still realistically in it. Wolves, you could even give them a shout right now. They could also realistically be it. We'll keep an eye out on Leicester. What's gone wrong with Aston Villa? This race for 4th is just as good as the race for the title, and I'm looking forward to seeing how both of these play out. Forget about it, Arsenal. Forget about West Ham. You're not going to get in that title race. It is a 3-horse race for the title. Let's put that to bed. The race for 4th is just as electric. And, of course, the race to avoid the drop is also electric with, of course, Moneybags, Newcastle, them 6-figure freaks, and, of course, the yo-yo team. That is Norwich sitting in the relegation zone at that moment. And, of course, I would take that right now. I'd take the Moneybags team going down, the Freakazoids going down, and the Canaries, unfortunately, going down. But anyway, of course, let's take a look at the prediction league for this week and this week alone. Paul Burton, Daniel Emmanuel, Ojo 52, Champ 17, A. Judy, Alex Weller, Ivan Stringer, Lionel out 50, kicking us and taking it with 7 out of 10. Well done, guys. You just absolutely smashed it this past midweek. What about the grand old scheme of things, though? The leaderboard in extensive detail. Max Sangari and Tom Stein kicking ass with 69, dudes. That's right. Of course, kicking ass and taking names. Costas K's up there, Nigel Kem's up there, and Shepherd leading the charge, of course, in the race for the Premier League. Of course, predicting a champion of the legends. So getting amongst it. Come on, Russell Frost. Come on, Jimmy Boy. Come on, Bianca. There's 3 patrons right there needing a bit of a boost. But, of course, anything can happen in the next couple of match days. Let's get into the next round of matches. Speaking of it, starting with Aston Villa. They're going to be taking on Leicester City. This match takes place on Sunday, December the 5th. Now, these 2 sides, of course, play each other 30 times. It's 9-4, 9 wins for Villa, 11 wins for Leicester. Of course, 10 draws. Of course, Villa coming to this just 1 defeat past 3, 33% form. Against the Leicester side, just 1 defeat the past 6. They back into form, of course, 58% form for them as well. Last round, of course, at Villa Park was a 2-1 win for Leicester. That was back in February 2021. Of course, Villa did lose to City last round. Of course, Leicester picked up a 2-2 draw against the Saints. Of course, coming at you though, 11-8 is your Villa on this one, 2-1 is your way when that's Leicester. 12-5 is your draw. It's quite tight, this one. Did I go with a draw? No, I went with Villa here. Surprise package, 2-1 win to take to the house. Everton, who need a result, up against Arsenal on Monday night. That's right, Monday, December the 6th. Now, these 2 sides play each other 60 times since 1960 and 1993. 10 wins for Everton, 37 wins for Arsenal, and we've got 13 draws. Everton haven't won the last 8, and they lost 5 of the last 6. 8% form up against Arsenal side, just 1 win in 3 for them, 67% form for them in all competitions, of course. Everton did beat Arsenal last round. That was, of course, over at the Emirates, but last time played at Goodison Park was a 2-1 for Everton as well. So back-to-back wins for Everton. In fact, they've lost just once in the past 5 games between themselves and Arsenal in all competitions. The odds here, 25 is your, of course, your Everton. Of course, on this one, 11-10 is your Arsenal. 5-2 is your draw. I'm going with Arsenal here. Everton they need a win. And of course, the recent form between these two sides goes in favour of Everton, but I just think Arsenal are just playing too good for them right now. Southampton up against Brighton. That's, of course, on Saturday, December the 4th. I played each other 18 times in 2006. Now it's the Southampton 3 was for Brighton. And we've got 6 draws, of course. Southampton without a win in 3 now. 42% form up against the Brighton side, who haven't won in the last 10 games, though. However, just lost once in the past 5, 33% form, drawing 4 of the last 5 games. Of course, last round over at the St Mary's was a 2-1 win for Brighton. That's back in March 2021. The home side hasn't won this game. That's an interesting stat in a long time. The last time a home side won this game was when Brighton beat Southampton in 2012 in the Championship. Goodness gracious me. Of course, Southampton did draw with Leicester last round. Of course, Brighton picked up a 1-1 draw away to West Ham. Look at the odds on this one. We have Southampton 20 for the 2-1 away when that's Brighton 11-5 is draw. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win for the Saints here. They need another win as well, and I think they're going to nick it just in the end. Watford up against Manchester City, one-sided affair I expect on this one. Ranieri's boys up against Pep's boys. Played 17 times since 2001. No wins for Watford, 15 wins for City, and 2 draws. Just 1 win in 5 though for Watford. 33% form up against the Man City side, who have won. The 6 on the bounce, of course, looking very, very good. Of course, last round over at Vicarage Road was a 4-0 win for City. In fact, they've got some right old cricket scores here. They've scored 18 goals against Watford in the last 3 games. Goodness gracious me, including an 8-0 win at the last time finished in Manchester. Of course, before 4-0 last round, of course, Watford did lose to Chelsea last round. Of course, Manchester City picked up 2-1 over Villa. Odds on here, 11-1 is your Watford, 5-1 on is your City, and of course 61 is your draw. 3-0 win for me, bit conservative there, bit low key, but of course it is another win in the bag for Manchester City. Next of all, Leeds up against Brighton on Sunday, December the 5th. Now these two sides play each other 14 times in 2009, 5 wins for Brentford, 3 wins for Leeds, 6 draws. Of course, just 1 defeat the past 5 games for Leeds at the moment. 50% form up against the Brentford side, just 1 win in 5 for their 42% form as well. Last round over at LMO was a 1-0 win for Leeds. That was back in August 2019 in the Championship. Of course, last round Leeds picked up a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace. Brentford picked up 2 loss over Spurs. Of course, look at the odds here. 2019 on is your Leeds. Of course, 13-5 is your draw, 14-5 is your away win. That's Brentford. Leeds will nick this one, 2-1 win, close game though. And this one, Manchester United up against Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace. Now these two sides played 25 times since 1994. 17 wins for United, 3 wins for Crystal Palace, and 5 draws. Of course, United unbeaten now in the last 3 games, picking up 50% form up against the Palace side, who haven't won in the last 3 for them, 50% form as well. Of course, last time around at Old Trafford was a 3-1 win for Palace. That was back in September 2020. The home side hasn't won this game. Goodness gracious me, since Man United beat Crystal Palace back in 2017. It's been a long time, folks, since September 2017. 3-2 was it? I've just lost it. I've lost 3 to. What did I say? The last time the home side won this game was a 4-0 win for Manchester United in 2017. Of course, Chelsea, Man United picked up a 3-2 win over Arsenal last round. Leeds picked up a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace last round. Look at the odds on this one. United 50-8 on for the victory, 3-1 as your draw, 6-1 as your away win. That's Crystal Palace. This is Ralph Rangnick's debut as Manchester United manager. You must win really to get off to a flyer, otherwise you're going to have the fans on your back straight away. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win for United here for them to step it up following on that big win against Arsenal. Next, of course, we have Newcastle up against them 6-finger freakazoids. Each other 11 times since 2014, 4 wins for Newcastle, 3 wins for Burnley, and 4 draws. Of course, Newcastle without a win in 15 games. Goodness gracious me. However, 33% form. In fact, just 2 defeats past 6. However, they've drawn 4 of the last 6. Meanwhile, Burnley just 1 win in 6 for them, 50% form as well. Of course, coming at you last round over at St James's Park was a 4-3 win for Burnley. That was this season in August. It was in the EFL Cup. 4-3 win for Burnley. Meanwhile, it might have been penalties even, I don't even know. Of course, last time around at St James's Park in the league, it was a 3-1 win for Newcastle back in October 2020. Of course, Newcastle did draw with Norwich last time around. Of course, Burnley picked up a draw against Wolves last time around. Look at the odds on this one. Newcastle 13-10 for the victory, 11-5 is your Burnley. Of course, 23-10 is your draw. Surely, today, this weekend, anyway, it's their first win under the Eddie Howe multi-million-dollar era. I'm going to go with the 1 win for Newcastle on this one. Next up, we've got Spurs taking on, of course, Norwich. Again, a team that needs a win. Of course, this is their run, and they need to get points Of course, it is Spurs against Norwich at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Those are the 20 times since 93, 11 wins for Spurs, 5 wins for Norwich, and 4 draws, of course. Just one defeat past 6 now, one defeat past 5 for Spurs, 58% form up against the Norwich side, who are unbeaten in the last 4, 50% form for them as well. Of course, last round at the Fantasy Pants Stadium was a 2-1 win for Spurs. That's back in January 2020. Of course, Spurs did beat Brentford last round. Of course, Newcastle did draw with Norwich last round. Look at the odds on this one: 11-4 on is your Tottenham. Of course, 50-2 is your away win. That's of course Norwich, and 4-1 is your draw. Spurs win this one, 2-0 win. Take it to the house. All London affair next. Of course, it is West Ham. It is Chelsea. It's the early kickoff. This coming Saturday. Now these two sides played 52 times to 93. 15 wins for West Ham, 28 wins for Chelsea. Have got 9 draws. Of course, West Ham actually just 1 win and 4 for them. 50% form up against the Chelsea side, who haven't lost in the last 12 games, picking up 3 wins. The last 5 games, of course, 83% form for them as well. Of course, that's around at the London Stadium as a 1-0 win for Chelsea. In fact, Chelsea won back-to-back over West Ham, picking up back-to-back clean sheets as well. Chelsea picking up a 2-1 win over Watford. West Ham picking up a 1-1 draw against Brighton. Look at the odds on this one. West Ham 54 for the victory, 43 on is your Chelsea, and 35 is your draw. Going to go with the win for Chelsea here. 3-2 win, goals galore, 5 in it. But Chelsea taking the points. And then finally, Wolves will take on Liverpool over at Molineux. Of course, now these two sides played 16 times to 4, 3 wins for Wolves, and then wins for Liverpool, and 2 draws. 1 defeat to the past 6 games for Wolves. 58% form up against the Chelsea, Liverpool side. Just 1 defeat in the past 6. 83% form, winning 4 on the bounce. Of course, that's around over at Molineux was a 1-0 win for Liverpool. In fact, they won back-to-back over Wolves, back-to-back clean sheets as well, conceding just 1 goal at the last 5 encounters between themselves and Wolves in all venues. Of course, Wolves did draw with Burnley last round. Of course, Liverpool did beat their fellow Merseysiders, Everton 4-1 last round. Of course, look at the odds on this one. We have 7-1 as your hosts, 5-2 as your away, and that's Liverpool. And we got the draw at 50-4. So, of course, go with Liverpool, aren't we? 2-0 win in the end. Take to the house. That's my picks, boys. That's my picks. Be sure to get your picks as well using the website here, cut.4/Premier League. And of course, it is free to enter. Good bit of fun. Get your name in lights, and I'll see you next time around, of course. And then we'll reveal next week who won the predictor of the month for November. Now, any results that did take place today. And of course, in these ones here will be, of course, for the start of December. So we will bring you bang up today with all that jazz. I'm not trying to diddle you here, just running out of time. Anyway, be sure to give the video some smash your thumbs up, smash your subscribe, smash your stuff, everything, and hit the little bell so you don't miss a beat. Also, check out the links. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, and of course Patreon as well to help the channel in another way. That's the best place to do it. Check it all out. Patreon.com/Roverseas. From as little as a cup of instant coffee, guys, you can help this channel out in a massive, massive way. Anyway, until then, guys, I am out of here.